Chag Samei'ach, everybody. And to everyone on YouTube and Facebook, sorry we got a little bit of a late start tonight, but we are going to all have a happy Simchat Torah and be a little bit different than the Hakafot you're used to, but we'll have a festive evening in any case. And we're so delighted to welcome Abigail Backer to be with us again, to be our soloist on this Simchat Torah. And you should have picked up on your way in the Gates of Joy, a song sheet, and a flag. We need all those things for Simchat Torah. And yes, at some point we will be using candy that you may have brought. So we're going to begin with a song that is not in your songbook, or not in your prayer book. It may be on the song sheet, I don't know. So the song sheets, they're all different colors, but they're all the same. Some are blue, some are yellow, some are pink, and let's see if it's on here. No, it's not, but we're going to start with Hallelujah, and I think most of you know Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And either in your Gates of Joy Sidur on page 39 or on the song sheet, song number 2, we're going to do Sisu V'Simchu B'Simchat Torah. It's the only actual Simchat Torah song that I know of. There may be others, but it says, be joyful and happy on Simchat Torah. Sisu V'Simchu B'Simchat Torah, Uchnu Chavod LaTorah, Sisu V'Simchu B'Simchat Torah, Uchnu Chavod LaTorah, Sisu V'Simchu B'Simchat Torah, Uchnu Chavod LaTorah, Sisu V'Simchu B'Simchat Torah, Utnu Chavod LaTorah. And you will find the Simchat Torah service, the beginning of it, on page 23. Simchat Torah is truly a joyous time. We sing and dance, we carry flags, we march around the synagogue, although we won't march around the synagogue. This Simchat Torah, in honor of the Torah, our most precious possession. Simchat Torah is a wedding service between our people and our Torah. We read the Torah's last words and immediately turn to read its first words. Be part of this never-ending circle of reading and study. Be part of the family that has married the Torah with joyful love. And we continue on page 26 for the candle lighting, and we call upon Todd and Jill Letvin to lead us in the candle lighting. So you can read that introductory reading, and then the blessing over the candles, and then we'll sing Shehecheyanu.
Why are the words of Torah like fire?
As fire from a single flame kindles many flames, so each word of Torah kindles many minds enlightens many hearts. Torah gives light to all who make use of its bright and shining flame.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Amen.
Praise you, God of time and space, source of blessing for mitzvot that make us holy, and for the joy of this mitzvah, the kindling of light.
It's always challenging when we've got the fans on.
You got it.
But we need to have them on.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Together we join in singing at the bottom of the page.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. On the top of 27, Eternal God, may the words of Torah be sweet to us and to all Israel, that we and our children may study your teaching in the love of your name. Praise be the eternal God, teacher of Torah to the house of Israel. And we rise for the call to worship.
Baruch et Adonai
Responsively at the bottom of 27. Torah is God's great gift to the house of Israel.
Israel without Torah is like a body without a soul.
Like water, it cleanses and is refreshing.
Like wine, it gladdens the heart.
Like a crown, it raises us high.
Higher than the throne of kings and queens.
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it.
The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its highest teaching is love and kindness.
What is hateful to you, do not do to another person.
That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it.
Those who study Torah sustain the world.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace, these are our highest duties.
As the study of Torah leads to them all.
We rejoice in Torah. It is our life, the length of our days. Praise be the God who teaches Torah to our people Israel.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
And we are seated. And we join in chanting on 29.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'am, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. We continue responsively on page 30. Keep your father's wisdom. Do not forget your mother's teaching.
Bind them always to your heart. Seal them into your mind.
When you walk, they shall lead you. When you lie down, they shall keep you safe. They shall be with you when you wake up.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the Torah is light.
Torah is light. In the house of bondage, it gave us hope and showed us the way to freedom.
Torah is light, the light of our prophets, the light of our teachers.
Torah is light. It showed us our way in the wilderness and led us to the land of promise.
Torah is light, the light of our poets, the wisdom of our people.
We inscribe its words on parchment for all people to learn.
We take it into our hearts to do as we have learned.
Torah is light for all the world to show its peoples the way to freedom. They will give thanks as did our people at the Sea of Reeds. Miriam led them, and all Israel broke out in song. No Rahilo, no Sefala. Malchutecha uvanecha, Bokea yam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai. So you have been a help to us always, giving us courage and hope. We thank you, the God who made us to be free. Baruch atah Adonai Gaal Yisrael. Vayedaber Moshe et moadei Adonai el bnei Yisrael. Then Moses taught the people of Israel to celebrate God's festivals. So if you turn the page, you'll see 32 and 33 has something to do with consecrants coming up to the bima. We do not have any children in kindergarten this year, so we're not doing a consecration. But this is the time in the service where we talk about how we want the Torah and the study of Torah to be sweet to all of our children. And so I know that some of you brought candy, and it just so happens I have some here. So let's take this moment to make the Torah sweet by putting some candy on the bima, and then we'll let the kids, or it looks like maybe we need some adults to take some candy tonight too. I mean, don't hold back. I'll let you know how we can safely come up and do this. So let's do it one person at a time on each side, coming up to put the candy out instead of crowding, okay? So I'll do some over
On the
here.
bottom so the kids can get it, yeah. Wow, you have a whole bucket.
Why don't you wait till I'm done? Okay.
Wow.
All right, thank you.
Wow, okay.
Okay, is there anyone else who needs to bring their candy up? Let's do it one on each side at a time, and then go back to our seats.
Wow. Looks pretty
Wow,
sweet to me.
are those dark chocolate? Oh, it matches the carpeting? Yeah, that's really important. Okay. All right, so was that it for people who brought candy? Okay, I think there's enough. So I'm going to start with Shaylee and Skylar. Do you have bag to collect candy in? Do you have bags? Because I have bags if you need. Do you need a bag? So here's some bags. Don't forget to go on both sides.
We're not going to collect the candy that we already gave.
All right, well then
Go
you
to
can
the
do
other
the candy
side.
on this side if you want different candy.
We're not getting the candy that we already got.
That makes sense. Skylar, come on over here. This candy is different candy. You want to take some? Okay, go ahead. This is your chance. So make sure you leave some for other people who may want some.
We're leaving stuff.
Okay. This is candy season, the beginning of candy season. Now you won't have to go trick-or-treating, right? Well, they might still go trick-or-treating, I suppose.
And it's my birthday.
Okay, since they're over here, would someone like to come over on this side and get candy? Any kids, any adults, any teens? Lead the way.
Don't
Some
be
of the-
shy.
Yeah, Naomi, lead the way because then someone else will. I'm just going to throw the bags down and you can pick them up.
Yeah. You can take some
Good,
of that
Rachel's
stuff,
going to
too.
come. All right.
Oh, that's so nice.
So Rachel and Lucy, are you guys in a pod? All right.
I got this for you, Mom.
All for you.
Okay. Mom will tell you when you have enough, I think. Okay. All right, this side appears to be open for the taking. Does anyone want to come up and get some candy?
Make the rounds.
They
over
just
here.
want you to go up to Andrews so they'll have candy for themselves in the house. They're just making you do it, so. There you go. I think we'll maybe move some of these over so that when people go around with Torahs, they don't trip on candy. Sorry for you folks on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know if you can see the collection of the candy, but I don't have any to offer you. I think I'm just going to move these aside a little bit. Anyone want to help me with that? Because I'm afraid when we go around with Torahs, even though it's going to be a limited hakafot, that someone is going to catch their shoe on this. Oops, thank you.
Yeah. Well, if they want it.
There was a class in rabbinical school about clearing candy off the bima on Simchat Torah. It was a really hard class.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are going to continue now as we take the Torahs from the ark for the hakafot, and this is how the hakafot are going to work. I'm going to take 2 Torahs out and put one on this table. Did you decide, Esther, where I should put that reading table? That would be good? Wherever it is? Okay. And I'm going to put the other one in the stand. And then I'm going to take the little Torah for the first hakafah, and it's just going to be around the reader's table here. And then I'll call up the next person to take one of the Torahs and have a hakafah. So there will be 7 of them. So we're going to start with Ana Adonai, which is in your book on page 37. Yes, thank you. First we're going to sing Al Shlosha Devarim. My trusty soloist here is telling me. And that is, I'm not sure on what page that's on. It's on your song sheet, but At any rate, we will start with Al Shlosha Devarim while we take the Torah out of the ark. It's on the bottom of 41. And then for that first Hakafah will be either on the song sheet, number 1, or on page 37. So please rise.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed.
So on Simchat Torah, we take all the Torahs out and we dance with them. So we're going to make sure we give each Torah a chance. And we're going to start here with Ana Adonai.
Ana Adonai, Hoshiana. Ana Adonai, Hatzlichana. Ana Adonai, Yaneinu, V'yom Kareinu. Aneinu, Aneinu, V'yom Kareinu. Aneinu, Aneinu, V'yom Kareinu. Aneinu, Aneinu, V'yom Kareinu. Aneinu, Aneinu, V'yom Kareinu.
And for our second Hakafah, we're going to call up Minahel Todd Letfin, from one of our co-administrators of our school. And we'll ask him to take up one of the Torahs, either one, as we join in singing Romemu. Thank you.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Oh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
It's a little tricky, isn't it? Esher Koach to Todd for Hakafah number 2. It's just caught up here. If you can just hold it out a little. There. Okay. Is it in there? All right. And we're going to call up our other co-administrator, Minahelet Roberta Alexander, for Hakafah number 3.
Hine matov. Hine matov manayim.
I'll help you with it if it's
Shevet ahim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim. Shevet ahim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov. Yalala, yalala, la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov. Yalala, yalala, la 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 la. Hine
שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יללה, יללה, לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יללה, יללה, לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. Yasher koach to Roberta. And next, we're going to have some of our teachers from our Beit Sefer Beth Hillel come up. So Nicole Magdovitz, who teaches our Midrashah class. And the song will be...
Lo Yisagoy.
And it's on your song sheet somewhere. I know it is. Number 8.
Love the Ruach. Keep it coming. Lo
This one. I
Yisagoy
can help you with it. That's fine. Want me to lift it for you?
Yilmid Milchama.
Yisagoy el goy Erev.
Yilmidu
Od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy Erev. Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy Erev. Lo yilmedu od
Milchama. Yisagoy el goy Herad. Yilmidu od Milchama. Yisagoy el goy Herad. Yilmidu od Milchama.
Shkoach to Nicole, and our next teacher is the 11, who's teaching our Kehillah class this year, 4th through 6th grade, and we're going to be singing.
Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu
Get it off for
Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem.
Hevenu shalom aleichem. Hevenu shalom aleichem. Hevenu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem.
Hevenu
Shalom aleichem. Hevenu shalom aleichem.
Hevenu
Shalom aleichem.
Hevenu
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom Aleichem. Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem.
All right, and that was number 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And next we have 2 Ozrim here from our school tonight. So I don't think I missed any Morim, did I? Any of our teachers? I don't think so. So we're going to call up Andrew Magdovitz next, who is one of our Ozrim this year. And the song will be...
Sisu v'simchu from the beginning of the service. Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah.
Fix the yad here.
Utnu chavod la Torah. Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah. Utnu chavod la Torah.
Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah. Utnu chavod la Torah. Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah. Utnu
chavod la Torah.
A little bit tricky. And Lucy Letman Stanton is our next Hakafa holder and leader, I guess I should say, one of our Ozrim, and we are singing
Shiru Shir.
this one.
So if you don't know this, the words are shiru shir, chadash. And sometimes shiru shir halelu, but if you choose one of them, you'll be fine. So let's do it. Shiru
Shir hallelu, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah, shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah, shiru, 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 shir hadash, shiru, 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 shir hadash, shiru, 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 shir hadash, ladonai. Shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah, shiru, shir hallelu, shir hallelujah, shiru, 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 shir hadash, shiru, 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 shir hadash, shiru, 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 shir hadash, ladonai. Did we do 7? Were you counting?
I was.
We did 7.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we did our hakafot. So we're now going to continue with the part where we read from the Torah, from the very end of the Torah, last verses of Deuteronomy or Devarim, and then the beginning. So just while I undress the Deuteronomy Torah, I'm going to ask that you remain standing and then you can be seated. And while we're doing that, do I have a song? Let's do a song while I'm getting that Torah ready.
Let's do a song. Hine ma tohu manai, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tohu manai, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tohu sheverachim gam yachad.
And now you can be seated as soon as I get the Torah on the table. There's a few things to clear off here first. Please be seated. But candy to clear off and flags to clear off, all kinds of things here. So it is a big honor to be called up to read from the very last words of the Torah or the very first words of the Torah. We even have a special name for that honoree. So the person who finishes reading Deuteronomy or reading the Torah is called Chatan Torah. And tonight that is Andrew Magdovitz. So come on up, Andrew. And we're going to have all of the kids who are here, anyone who's under 18, to stand up. This aliyah is for the youth of our congregation. And Lucy, would you on their behalf lead the Torah blessing? Here's the card, because we know you know it really well, because in a couple weeks something is happening for you. So, and if you have a chumash nearby, I think some of you do, reading from the very, very end, the last 3 or 4 verses, I think, of Deuteronomy in the Eitz Chaim. If you have it, it's on 1212. Or if you have the Hertz, it's on 917. So let's have all the youth stand up, please. I see 2 of them. Okay, and it's on your behalf. I'll just show you where you are. Right here. Well, it's how you define yourself, Roberta, if you want to be one of the youth. Do you see it? With a little comma. Okay, I want you to take that. The other hand. Okay. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim B'na'atam Lanu Torah Emet Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Let's step back a little bit.
Velokam Navihi Yisrael Kemoshe Asher Yada'ohu Adonai Hanihim El Panihim Lechol Lechal Ha'oto V'Hamoti Asher Alatsa Adonai Le'asot be'eret Mitzrayim Le'faro Ulechol Avadahav Ulechol Aratzon Ulechol Hayahad Hazakaha Ulechol Hamorah Hagadol Asher Asaha Moshe Lehenei Kol Yisrael.
Sure, Koach. We'll roll this up. I'll take the yad, and we'll have Lucy come up for her blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Koach. We say Yasher Koach to both of you, and because we finished reading a book of Torah, and in fact the whole Torah, we say Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. We say, be strong and let us strengthen one another in our study of Torah, in our Jewish lives, and in our efforts to be good people. And as I lift and dress this Torah, please rise.
Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. And as the Torah is being dressed and the next Torah is being prepared, we are going to sing Or Zarua. And I'm going to stay right over here. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Let's hear those claps. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Uyishrei Lev Simcha.
Okay, please be seated. And now we're going to have all of the adults are going to have the second aliyah, and I will lead it on your behalf. And our reader who is reading the very beginning of Breshit is Rachel Lappins, and we call that honor Kala Breshit. So come on up, Rachel. And we're so proud that Rachel and Andrew, along with Addie Stera, spent the whole summer learning Hebrew at Asrui. And so we have some really skilled people in our congregation right now. Well, you've got your own yad. That's fantastic. So if you wish to follow, I believe it's on page 2 in the Hertz and on page 3 in the Eitz Chaim. And she's just going to read the first day of creation. So everybody, Baruch Hu et Adonai
Hamivorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah
Adonai.
Notain HaTorah. Nice and loud, because you have your back to folks and you don't have a mic, so give it a whirl.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayetza tohu vavohu ve'choshech al panei tehom. Elohim merachefet al panei hamayim
Vayomer Elohim Yehi Or, Vayehi Or, Vayikra Elohim. Oh,
That's right. Elohim
Or.
See, you're right. Yom v'lachoshech kara laila. There you go. Vayehi.
Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Voker, Yom Echad.
Shkoach. And the blessing after? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai
notain
Shkoach. Yes, Shkoach. It's beautifully done. Beautifully done. All right, and now as we rise to return this Torah and the other Torah to their places, we'll join in singing.
Eitz chaim hilema chazikim bavet homecha me'ushar. Eitz chaim hilema chazikim bavet homecha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
One more time.
It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Let's really hear it. Shalom, 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 shalom.
I ask that you stay standing just a little while longer as we go to the ending part of the service for Aleinu. And we are going to sing the English Let Us Adore. And you will find that on the top of 44.
Repeat after me. Let us adore.
Let us adore
the ever-living God.
the ever-living God.
And render praise.
And render praise
unto God.
unto God,
Who spread out the heavens.
who spread out the heavens
And established the
and
earth.
established the earth,
And whose glory
and whose glory
is revealed in the heavens above.
in the heavens above,
And whose greatness
and whose greatness is
is manifest throughout the
world.
world. You are our God, there is none else. Ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
And we are seated. First ever reading. And on page 44, I believe. Creator of skies, maker of worlds, Your glory is stamped on the heavens above. Your love is revealed in our days as they pass. You endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. You are our God. There is none else. May the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you with a whole heart. May we yearn to see the promised day when trees shall grow and children play, and under their fig trees and under their vines all shall sit and none shall fear. On that day the age-old dream shall come true. On that day you shall be one,
and your name shall be one.
Bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad.
And we continue with a meditation prior to the Kaddish prayer. I invite those who are observing a yard site on this Yom Tov, or I also didn't read the names this past Shabbat because we had to rush in a windy, rainy sukkah. So I'll be reading the names from this past Shabbat. If you are observing a yard site for one of those days or are marking the death of a dear one in recent weeks or months, please rise during this meditation. Remembering is a gift of love passing back and forth among yesterdays, among those that were and those that are, those we walk with now, and yesterday's fellow pilgrims, for whose journey we are glad. On this day at Beth Hillel Temple, we mark the yard sites of Samuel Tursky, May Gertrude Pinkerton Frankel, Marjorie Block, Sam Zimmerman, Menachem Asa, Jennifer Holman, Solomon Rabin, Sylvia Letvin, Mary Ann Jewell, Anna Shemero Hockman, Nancy Kramer, Robert Calcebetta, Harold Lucky Brask, Morris D. Lepp, and Leah Shemro. Zichronam livracha. May their memories serve as a blessing. We turn to page 45 and all rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imeru, amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach l'alam u'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudasha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imeru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Please be seated, and we call up Ben Goldstein from our Leadership Council to share, you have it, to share a welcome message.
Chag Samei'ach.
Chag Samei'ach.
On behalf of the Leadership Council of Beth Hillel Temple, I would like to extend a warm welcome to who have joined us this Shabbat who have joined us this Simchat Torah, whether it is in person or via YouTube or Facebook. A big thank you to all of our Beit Sefer Beth Hillel Morim and Ozrim for their work with the students all year. We ask them to stand and be honored as we sing the closing song. So when we do the closing song, all the Ozrim and Morim, please stand up so we can recognize you. We thank Abby Backer for being our soloist tonight and leading us in such joyful music. And we also thank Esther Letvin for working the camera for our live stream tonight. Tomorrow, Atzeret Simchat Torah Yizkor services will be held at 10:30 a.m. We will be going to Scoop's Ice Cream Parlor after services on Tuesday. Your ice cream purchase is a fundraiser for the Hospice Alliance. We will eat and socialize on the outdoor patio there. Yay, ice cream. Temple offices will be closed tomorrow for the holiday. We wish to clarify that all Beth Hillel services are now in person with everyone wearing masks and social distancing. However, you must be vaccinated to attend, and please do not attend if you have any COVID symptoms. We are also live streaming every service, usually to Facebook and YouTube. We cannot stream to YouTube when we are not in the sanctuary. Only Saturday morning services, offered twice a month, are still on the Zoom platform. Other temple information is found at the temple website, and e-news with current information was sent on Thursday. Chag Samei'ach.
Chag Samei'ach. I want to give a special thank you to Abby for coming up tonight and being with us, because we got to also have her in the sukkah for dinner before we came. It was very special. So we're going to conclude with Kaddish de Rabbanan, which is a special song for teachers and students. And it is not in here, but it is in your Mishkan Tefillah, so the blue Siddur, on page 667. And I'd like to invite all of our Morim and Ozrim, our teachers and our school helpers, and of course our Menahelet and our Menahel from our school. Please stand, because this is for you.
For our teachers and their students, and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. And for those who study Torah here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen.
Chag Samei'ach, everyone. If you'll be seated, Ben, I'm going to call you up to do your row dismissal again. Just a nice reminder, a gentle reminder that we try not to congregate in the building. So we ask you to leave by rows and head outside without chatting.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start with the back row, the Salzburgs and the Lutvins. And Roberta, I believe you're in that too. Yep.